what the holdup was. This has happened several times with Sebastian. It actually happened to my sister yesterday as we were working on his case. I'm just waiting for some people to pop on, and then we will get into what is going to be a live reading tonight. I'm trying to work with Sebastian's energy. I thought it would be great to do so live so the public can have a chance to ask questions as well. As long as we are cordial, we are, hello everyone. Hi everybody. I would like everyone to be cordial with each other, be kind, no rudeness to anybody. Hi everybody. I definitely understand why now I see a lot of green hearts, because when I was told green, the color green, that was Sebastian's favorite color. So I wasn't aware of that, but now I do. So it makes sense now. So thank you everybody for, we need to light this live up with as many green hearts as we possibly can for Sebastian. There is also a petition for Sebastian, and if you can go find it, go sign for it so his father, Seth Rogers, can get the FBI involved. I've signed it. I'm also donating to the cause. I will be working in some questions from you guys tonight. I will be going over some things that just don't make sense to us, why things aren't going the way they should be for this case. So as soon as we get, a few more people on here, we're going to get headed right into it. I see this message is held for review, so I assume that we have some, people popping on here. I have heard that the Proudfoots are going on everyone's either lives or YouTube channels and more or less putting their input under any readings or anything as such. Janaea, my son is taking it one day at a time. He is having a little bit of hard time. He is doing a lot better, so I'm very grateful for that. There's just a little bit ups and downs with trying to figure out the heart medication. So he's not used to taking it slow. He's a fast-paced person. He works very hard to take care of his family. So he's not used to sitting and healing. A man, I think, when they become sick or something happens to them, it's a very hard thing for them to sit and try to heal without feeling a sense of, I need to keep going. They forget about themselves too. And I think, we need to remember as women how to remember when our husbands or our boyfriends are sick or they need us, to really do all that we can to, love them better, so to speak. But my daughter-in-law, she is phenomenal. She is right on top of things for my son. She is very, very, very good with him, and she has waited on him hand and foot. She has done things for him. It's insane how comfortable I am with my daughter-in-law taking care of my son. She is an angel here on earth. Now that being said, thank you for everyone praying for my son, asking about him. I deeply appreciate you. My husband's grandmother was murdered years and years and years ago when I first had met him. So my husband just received message in the mail that the person that murdered her and some other folks are trying to get a book deal, and we are going to be suing him for the proceeds of that book. It's called The Son of Sam, victim clause. Anybody that does such cannot collect dividends under a victim. So with that in mind, just so you guys are aware, if make you guys aware, if God forbid, if this ever happens and the murderer tries to make dividends from what has happened, you can go sue them. You can take them for everything they're trying to get in a book deal. And unfortunately, he thought he was smart enough to sell his story. Mr. Roberts. So I also want to clear something up, because it's been driving me insane, because people keep putting under my post, under my video, get it right. It's not Sebastian Roberts. It's Rogers. I know that. As you can see, I wrote his name down every time. I know his last name, but I can't help that it comes out of my mouth. That it's like my spirit takes over in that way for me. I cannot help it. It just happens. And if I do that, please excuse me. That's not me doing it. And I've heard a few other people state that that's happened to them too numerous times. So I do say it, excuse me ahead of time. It's not done purposely. Hello, everybody that is flying in here. I keep hearing Proudfoot, Proudfoot, Proudfoot. I've heard it for the last 20 minutes for my female side. Also the name Ann again. How many of you have signed the petition for Seth Rogers, or an affiliation with the case itself? And how many of you are aware of it? Because we need to come together for this little boy. I mean, do you have to do that? No, you don't. So please don't feel pushed by me. As a group, as a team, I would hope that I can inspire some of you to do so. I saw a news report online the other day, and the reporter accidentally said Sebastian. So the reporter said Roberts too. Okay. I hope I can inspire as many people as I can to help get this petition signed, because there's not enough done being in Sebastian's case. It's been 53 days and he needs to be found. I don't think it's a good outcome. That's just me, hypothetically speaking. So any information that you get here tonight with me psychically is in your face from spirit. This isn't a recorded thing. This is a very one-on-one thing with you all. So any information that you're getting, I'm just getting. I did a basic cold read for him, and I'm getting a lot just by that. So I didn't want to keep going into it, because I wanted you guys to have the opportunity as well. Anybody that can get a hold of this petition, please help the father, the biological father. Help Seth, excuse me, see, here I go. Rogers. I have to say the last name slow at all costs, please, so I do not offend anybody. Seth Rogers, sign this petition. We need as many signatures as possible. I'm trying to get a hold of Seth Rogers so I can donate in any way I can. I'll even work with Seth Rogers so as much as I can as well. We don't have to do it on camera. We can do it off camera, as I do with all of the people that I help in murder cases or any cases that are missing. Colette, thank you for joining our membership. I will be doing a members live only tomorrow night. Keep lighting that screen up for him. All green hearts, all green hearts. Let's give Sebastian everything and anything we can to help him. That is amazing. I love seeing I signed. This matters. I cannot believe the insufficient police work in this case. I do know they are looking. I'm not saying that they are so incoherent on not looking. No, I am saying that at Seth Rogers. Okay, is that something that I can help donate in? Crafts and Crime? I see we have another message up for review, so which means I'm gonna say this. Okay. Alrighty. So if you're the Proudfoots on my live, do understand. Oh, another message for review. You can pop on here all you want, Chris Proudfoot, but I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna be very blunt with you. I am not one of your ex-wives that you can batter and abuse. I am not afraid of you in any way. And if you really want to open that floodgate with me, it will not be good for your part. Okay? So please don't make any idle threats under my live. I'm letting you know Spirit is telling me you're on my live. So if you play that game with me, you're not going to win. I am not one of your stepchildren. I am not one of your wives. I am me, and you won't like what you get. Oh, another message up for you. Look at that. Okay, thank you. Oh, it's disgusting how they have time to be on people's lives, but they haven't looked for that boy at all. A mother of an autistic child, me I'm speaking of, because I love my son with every being, every atom, every particle in my body. I wouldn't have left state. My life would have ended until my son came home. I wouldn't have come home until my boy is found, my baby, my son, my love. That's how you speak about your child, not my boy, the boy. You are disassociating yourself. Whether it's a cultural speech and how you speak about a child in the South, most people call their child by their name. Got plenty of time to be trolling on people's Facebooks, podcasts, and I tell you what, I asked for the first interview to hear his voice and his wife's voice, Sebastian's mother. And I can tell you, there is nothing in those voices that care about that little boy. Okay? I'm going to say some things on here tonight that aren't going to be good. And I'm very sickened by who would allow, or did they. I'd like to know if the mother knew some of the things that I'm going to say tonight. Because if Sebastian, I'm hoping that they do an autopsy, or if they can tell if he was sexually abused. And I'm not talking about the prior bad act from poor supervision. I'm talking about the acts of abuse in the manner that we all know what I'm referring to here. I don't want to say it on here. Right, absolutely. Everyone is getting the gist here. I am going to begin reading just a few things here that I picked up just today, and prior to anybody that's on my Facebook knows any of the visions that I've come up. Karma Crime, wonderful to have you, my love. Anybody that's on my Facebook knows the vision that I had just a few days ago, and it involves the mother. But I've also had visions after involving Chris Proudfoot. And at any given time, the Proudfoots are still on here watching and not commenting, which please don't hold back to me, because like I said, you don't scare me. You will not intimidate me. And I can guarantee you, when Sebastian is found, you're going to go to prison. The both of you. I'm just looking at some of your responses here. So if I go quiet for a second, please do so. If they go too fast, I do apologize. Listening to Chris Proudfoot's voice, I became very emotional inside. I felt smothered almost. I felt dirty spiritually. I felt vile. It tells me a lot about him just listening to his voice, and that's why I asked for the interview. I know that he was abused as a child in some way. I know the reason why he hates women and he's been married so many times is because he's probably was abused as a child and the mother didn't do much about it, which caused him to create a persona against women and hate women for who they are. But he's also a vile person, and he gets off on violating a person's boundaries, a person's right to freedom, a right to have their own space and feelings for themselves. And listening to his voice, I knew everything was going to start flooding in. I knew that he was taking Sebastian's glasses off to torment him because he couldn't see that great. I know he was not happy unless he was hitting the boy. There's a lot more that he did to that child that he's not really saying, or for that matter, the mother is saying, and it's disgusting. I had a vision of Chris Proudfoot, and I think the reason why I had that vision the way I had it, I only seen from the waist down, around his abdomen area and down, and he was taking off his belt. But it was not in a way of physical abuse. To me, I saw him almost in a perverted, vile way, as if he was slowly taking off, like almost making, having that feeling, I'm going to hurt you now, we're going to be doing this. It was a very sick, twisted feeling I got in my stomach. I almost vomited. It was a slow taking off the belt. Like I said, it wasn't a physical aspect of him going to spank somebody with a belt. It was essaying somebody. Now, in some way, to me, how I saw this, it was like I was a smaller person in my vision. Yeah, it makes you sick. It makes you physically feel vile. I was a smaller person because it was like in the vision, I was a shorter person, if that makes sense. So to me, this is something that was done prior to. This has been happening for a while, and it's either under the radar, it wasn't known about. Something is not fitting here for me. The vileness that I felt in that vision told me he was doing something to a child. But for me, because I'm working on Sebastian's case, I'm feeling this with Sebastian at a younger age. Now, I do feel that if I'm getting something, I will stop and try to listen and try to look at the same time. I do feel this was a younger age and it led into more so the vileness he felt for Sebastian. It was a very hateful, evil feeling that I got from that vision. It was very, very sick. But to me, this isn't a one-time thing with this child. To me, there would be a pattern of sexual assault. Excuse me, essaying. I know I'm not supposed to say that on here. I do apologize. It could be there's a history of someplace else with it. It could be a family member. It could be anything like that. But I know this isn't the first time. Oh, I have no qualms about saying what I'm feeling. I'm not in a vision. For me, I have to take in the whole. I've seen it, and the other vision I had of KP, I'm going to say KP from here on in. He'll never get his daughter, not with what he revealed about the use of the belt and with Sebastian missing. I also got a vision of KP, the mother. I was just sitting and just sitting in my chair trying to do meditation, and out of nowhere I get a vision of the mother getting let out in handcuffs from the back. She had her hands behind her back and she had handcuffs on. Now, the other vision I had, which led me to, okay, I think I know what's going on here. I'm just giving you the vision part that I got. Do you understand, my lives do lead into 3 hours. This is important to me to get everything I can out at the time of my readings. Out of nowhere, after that vision with the mother, I got this really twisted vision of the stepfather. We'll just say stepfather because he's like a step. He was never a father. He was the type of person who stood on a step and that's all he was good for. He wasn't a father to that boy. So I call him the stepfather. He was never a person that could love someone else's child and say, I'm the dad, I'm his father. No, you're right out on the steps and you're actually what we call a stepfather. I had a vision of the stepfather, quote unquote. His eyes were huge. He had this psycho look in his face. And it looked to be he was on the ground and he had what looked to be a rock in his hand. And his hand came down, boom. And that's all the vision was. And that's all I saw after that. It was just total darkness. Shrimp, I have to give exactly how I feel, exactly what I see. There's so much anger. He has such a vileness to him. The anger, the hatred. It's like he seeks out people just to hurt them, not to love them. It's like he's a sadistic narcissist. Very, very sick person. I keep on hearing Proudfoot, Proudfoot. If you're watching, please do. I'm going to keep talking. You will not shut me down. You can do whatever you need to do because I'm going to continue to help Sebastian. And I will be waiting for his father to reach out to me at some point, or if he wants to get in touch with me, or I'll get in touch with him again. I did try reaching out. I don't know if I just got the wrong spot. I usually don't reach out, but because of his son being like my son, I just needed to put myself in that. The mother should be, of course, she should be protecting her child. But I also think he was a burden to her. If you listen to the interview, when a person, if a reporter was to ask you about your child and your child is missing, there's no way emotionally that you can keep it together as a mother. We held that child in our body, we carried it, we loved it, we fed it, and to give it a name and rock it to sleep. And I say it because that's how she always looked at it. She never looked at it as a baby, she looked at it as an it, but it never occurred into growing with the child. It never grew with her in that sense. He was a burden to her, and then as soon as she could find somebody else to carry that burden with her and forced him to be like some whipped dog as he saw Sebastian. How do you call somebody a pedophile, a child who was essayed? His vile hatred for Sebastian is in his voice. It's in his energy. I don't like listening to his voice because he automatically makes me want to vomit. And when she can, and a reporter can ask this woman, tell me about your son. Tell me about your son. I would start off so quickly. He is my love. He is my angel. He is my everything. He likes video games. He's this height. He has this color eyes. He likes this type of food. He wears these type of clothes. He is very good with such and such. He is well known for smiling and caring and so and so and so and so. But all you heard her say was, um, mothers who love their children don't do that. We automatically can snap right into their likes, their visions of caring, memories of specific days, anything and anything a mother can start automatically talking about a child for. First of all, the whole polygraph thing, if you can look at someone and say, I'll take a poly, if they're calm enough or they've taken medication, they can pass a poly. That's all I can say on the mother's part. Now, the stepfather, he hasn't taken a polygraph. I'd like to know. For that in itself, someone told me he lied to Nancy Grace. That is a big no-no because Nancy Grace is a pit bull. She will get down to anything. I watched her years and years ago, and she's a pit bull. She does not care. She will put you on the spot. Oh, look, another message held for review. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. You're not phasing me because all you got me is in a, I'm going to say this, a pissed off mode. I'm a mama bear. I will always be, and I will always look out for other children. And there's nothing you can do. That's it. I'm not one of your ex-wives. I will not be one of your stepchildren you think you can bully. Period. Now, and another thing I feel, they look at all of these YouTubers, they look at all these lives and podcasts because their behavior is already strange. There are some wonderful stepfathers. My granddaughters have a stepfather. They don't even call him that. They call him dad. Seth Rogers is innocent. Is innocent. Okay, we're gonna get into some questions about, if you guys want to ask questions, so to speak, let's talk about the instant waterworks. Yeah, it doesn't matter if he fell asleep during a polygraph. He's been looking for his kid. He's on medications for pain. People don't think about that. First of all, when you're in a room taking a poly, you're in a warm room, a very silent place, very quiet place. So that in itself is tiring if you're not used to a quiet setting and you're always used to a noisy place. And from what I'm told, he's some sort of guard, like prison guard or something. You ever been in prison? I haven't, but I can tell you it's loud. Can you imagine all the inmates? So he's probably used to a loud setting and then not sleeping, not probably eating. It's ridiculous. He misses his son very much, so yes. Oh, I know. CP is angry that his daughter calls another man by daddy. Muscle relaxers. If he was on muscle relaxers, Molly, that in itself would knock you out. I was on a muscle relaxer for my back years and years ago, and I can tell you, I fell asleep so quickly and I woke up so miserable. Yeah, he is exhausted mentally and physically, Nikki. Very much so. I also do believe that he gave the stepfather gave the mother an ultimatum, as in, he goes where I go. And at that point, her comfort, her security, nice home, nice place to live, all out the door if he leaves. It's hard to grieve your son when you are trying to be strong for everyone, the community, and to put yourself in a place of mind. My son isn't gone. My son is gone. I have to believe this. I have to have hope, because everybody has to have hope for Sebastian. Oh, I do believe that too, Nikki. I do believe she resented him. Who who calls her, from what is told here, someone said that she would call him goofy and run like an animated character. Who describes their child like that? I honestly, who does that? My questions are, when she's in an interview, she's not crying, and then out of nowhere, if you look at the interviews, what happened to Sebastian? And pay attention to CP. Automatically, as soon as that question's asked, he turns and looks at her every single interview. And it's like, don't mess up. You're going to screw it up for us. Don't mess up. Think about that. Go back and pay attention to that. Chris Mother owns their house. Chris Mother is a realtor. Yes, I believe. Okay. He does that work in that RV when he was sleeping with a neighbor. He was interviewed. You're pretty like lemonade on a hot summer day. Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to read. They said not many pictures because he smiles goofy. He can't dance or run. Like, who says that? Well, on being close to home, I want to get through that with you guys tonight. And I'm going to say this because I do have something that came up, and another person and I, we looked at the area itself, and I just want to see if it comes up again tonight. Just to be on the safe side. Yeah, it's more or less like he kinds of give that gesture, watch what you say, or he's fidgeting, so she'll get herself centered, and she turns those waterworks on when she wants to make herself look like a grieving parent. I do believe that they watch all of these channels so they can see what they're doing wrong in their behavior, because honestly, in some strange way, they don't see how they're acting strange in the videos because they're trying to be so accurate about it. So I think everybody says they're not crying, they're not doing such and such. Did you see the interview with their hands only? Think about that. And then even then, think about the behavior. Think about the behavior. She's comforting him in the Only Hands interview. She's doing this with the thumb. She's doing this with the thumb over and over and over and over again. Think about that. She's a very cold person. She's cold and he's vile. So that for me is not a good mix for a child like Sebastian. Children with autism, any child for that matter, I can say children with autism, but any child has to have a set of patience. Every child is different. Children with autism have to have patience. There is no way around it. I've given up a lot of things for my son to have a good life, and I don't care. For me, I'm happy to say that because I know I'm giving him my all, and I don't care because I know that's my job as a mom, and my husband knows that's his job as a dad. We are specifically timed on a lot of things. You cannot go out of routine. You have to have patience. You have to have the utmost love and kindness with a child with autism because they do not understand. And that's another reason why, Tammy, I'm going to say this, another reason why it brought me back to CP being a predator in that way, because automatically I thought, wow, this is just like Summer Wells. And then the name Don Wells popped up in my head when I put those two. Beginning tomorrow and Sunday, narked divers Trey stated he will be diving near private land very close-lipped as to where. Said it will take a long time, then we'll update. Anything anybody can do is a blessing for Sebastian, and that is it. Anything, and you know, that's the thing. In Summer Wells' case, I tried to give information. TBI wouldn't accept a psychic's information. That's who's working on Sebastian's case, TBI. So where are my hands here tied into this? Don't take any tips from a psychic or a medium. Call in actual tips. So the people that are on YouTube are honestly, I feel, are doing more for Sebastian than we're getting a story out. We're giving a sense of hope for him and his father. I don't like when people talk about YouTube's. Yes, I don't like the ones that are doing clickbait for Sebastian Rogers. No, I said it, Rogers. Look at that. What are your feelings on the mark on his hands at the beginning? He said they were dog scratches, but look. You know, that's funny because my sister and I were just talking about that. I'm sorry, I'm just looking through your messages real quick, so I'm trying not to miss much. In the areas those markings are, if those are dog bites and dog scratches, okay, what are you doing to the animal for it to do that to you? I don't believe so. I think forensics should check out dental impressions on his arms for Sebastian's teeth. And as my sister stated and I stated, if he's holding Sebastian in a chokehold by the back of his neck in front of him, what do you think is going to happen there? He's going to bite. Yeah, I believe so too. If those are marks, from a dog, the dog clearly is not comfortable with you, does not like you, doesn't feel comfortable with you at all. So what are you doing to the animal? Do tell me. Pop on here and try to give me another nasty message that you're not going to get through. If you're not abusing animals, you're abusing kids. If you're not abusing kids, you're abusing women. So it says a lot about you, my friend. And no, I'm not. And that's me being sarcastic. My husband's aunt has a dog as such. The size of the bite mark on the arm does not match a dog that size. Yes. Why no camera footage? And I'm just writing some notes down because I needed to not forget and step away and get, why no camera footage? Why no criminal investigation? Do tell me. Why no criminal investigation? So this isn't a criminal investigation, right? Why are they searching in ponds? Why are there cadaver dogs? Because this is not a search and rescue. That's why. And they know it. And here's another question. Cadaver dogs are used to find cadavers. Now, you didn't get a hit at the house, right? That means Sebastian's scent was not there. And in other words, for me, I don't believe Sebastian went missing when she said he did. I do believe he went missing the night prior to. And I do believe CP was there in the middle of the night helping her get rid of the body. I think the police might have more than what they are allowed to. Oh, absolutely. They always do. Sure they do. They're not going to allow, that's the point of not getting information unless it's from a reliable source, so to speak. Well, here's the thing. Someone did message me on here. I don't know how true it is. I don't know if it's just rumor gossip. Supposedly Chris Proud's sister works at the sheriff's office as a secretary. He has 2 cousins that work for Child Protective Services. You guys can go dig into that. I don't know. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to try to get Sebastian to come through, or a guardian to talk to us about Sebastian. I don't know if a Heather is got to do with Sebastian, or if there's a Heather on here, but I heard a Heather from a male just now. So Heather has to be either on here or has to do with Sebastian Roberts' case. Right. So soul and crime. I don't know if that's true or not about the sister working as a secretary. Dig into that, guys. I mean, the more you find out, the better, because no one's helping Sebastian except for his father. Okay? And mostly, honestly, YouTubers are. People that are searching and volunteering. Yes, the police are looking. Yes, they are doing searches. But I'm hoping that this isn't some corrupt thing, because this guy's got a lot of pull. Why are police not, why weren't they giving the father any information? They were giving it to him. That boggles me. Thank you. Rita says, I have heard that. I have heard it. And that was my first impression. And when you listen to the interviews, for someone that is away at work, you're not going to say we. You're going to say, well, my wife, she called, or I called. You're not going to say we. Pay attention to those interviews. He states the answer says we. How if you weren't home? And if you listen to her interview stating, I did check to see if he was having breakfast, but don't you have to walk past that area in order to get to his room to see? You would know he's not in the kitchen making breakfast. I don't think Sebastian went missing on the day she claims he did. And I do believe he was there. He came back that night in some way. The name Heather is name of Seth. P.I. Oh, okay. Well, that's great then. Hopefully they can get some answers. Yay, I love... I'm sorry about the car live. It's not someplace I wanted to be tonight. I wanted to be in my office space, but vacation is here. The kids are here. My niece is here with her son. So, and my husband got bad news today. So, um, I just don't want to keep him, I don't want to interrupt him, his healing. If you haven't heard, my husband's aunt, my grandmother was murdered years and years ago, about 20 years ago, 20 years or so ago. And it was a violent death. She owned a home, and her tenant stabbed her 78 times to death, and she was literally just this tiny little thing. And come to find out, he killed other landlords in another town, a few other towns, and now he's trying to write a book. And we're going to sue him to shut the access down, or however we have to do it. We're contacting our lawyer. They need to research the landfill, the items like a bloody comforter. Good, Michelle Scott, good point. Soul alchemy. Yeah, it was shocked today because my son called us and stated, a letter came in the mail, and it was supposed to be signed for us, but we weren't there, so he signed for it, and that was what it was. You keep getting that. I do apologize. It might be because I'm outside and not in my office space. Yeah, you can find out a whole lot of things about this Proudfoot family, and they ain't great. Um, my my question is, where's the camera footage? Where's the camera footage? You're telling me they don't have any camera footage whatsoever of Sebastian? No problem at all. I'm okay with, I get to be as loud as I want here. I get to, but in the house, my office space, I feel like I'm bothering people if I talk loud. So because, sleeping, and my mom, she's almost 80. I don't want to disturb anybody. So, um, they are, just, I can't get over how hearing his voice is so vile to me. It makes me physically, spiritually ill. Um, I cannot believe that poor Sebastian was subjected. Uh, I can't believe Sebastian was subjected to this daily. Um, Pink Butterfly says there was a landfill near Chris Proudfoot's mother's home caught on fire. He could have put him there. Well, yeah. Do you think the actual cameras in their house, they slipped up and said they watched them? They slipped up and said they watched him steal snacks. Why does he have to steal snacks if he's hungry? Why can't he eat? I don't feel he's in Alaska, Becky, at all. But we can also ask tonight too. I don't like to speculate until I hear from Spirit. I will always give you my speculated guess, mine as in me, not Spirit's first, and then I will go through Spirit and see what comes up. Um, I haven't gotten that far yet. Soul alchemy. I do feel the mom will be arrested eventually because I've seen it in a vision. Um, but I only believe that's going to happen with the FBI getting involved, because I do feel that there's something really wrong here in this case. No one is going to tell me this is not a criminal investigation. They have cadaver dogs looking, they have search teams going into water, draining ponds, all sorts of things. They're not looking for a search and rescue, they're trying to find a body. And she stated, oh, he walked out that door. How do you know what he did? You can't say he walked out that door. You weren't there, right? You weren't up. So how'd you know he walked out the door? Stop giving Stop giving the internet a suggested guess of what he did. I am so a light sleeper. I can hear my sweet boy come down the stairs. I'll know I'll have to jump up because I'm for him. Oh, Caleb's up. I gotta go see what's wrong. I gotta see if he needs something. Does he need help in the bathroom? You know what? I'm not ashamed to say my son needs help using the bathroom. But you know what? Chris Proudfoot, to the mother, he doesn't wear diapers. You know why? Because I'm there to wipe him if he needs the help. And I have no shame in saying that because I'm his mama and I'm there. I love him. I have no shame in saying that. And you should be ashamed of putting diapers on that boy when you knew he could use the toilet. They killed that baby and then lied about him. Yeah, they made him. And if you look into the interview, well, he does have tendencies to lash out. An autistic child, there are some that can't handle touch, they can't handle noise, they can't handle being around people. But for Caleb, it's more the noise. He can't handle the noise. But he is, around everybody. He is around people at birthday parties and holidays. He's such a loving soul. He is such a good heart. He loves animals. He loves hugs. He loves kisses. Do you see where I'm getting at here when you talk about your child? You get into the loving aspects of them. Not that they, wet themselves or, had to wear a diaper or they were goofy or they ran funny. You look at the beautiful parts of them because no matter what they do, it is a beautiful part of them because having to live as an autistic person is not only a challenge, but it's an everyday lifestyle that everyone and everything around them, he has to get used to, she has to get used to. If you could ever just look through the eyes of an autistic person, you would say, how could anybody how are you able to do it? It's hard. I live it every day with my baby, but I do it because it's my baby. A regular child has tantrums. That has nothing to do with not even just being autistic. Every child does. I think they put that in there in case maybe it came up to where they did do this. Well, he became violent with me. I had to defend myself. They have to implant something in the footage to make it look like they're the victims, as they are. What are they doing to help that boy? What are they doing? Are they placing posters up? Are they walking the streets with volunteers? I would be banging on doors. Please help me find my baby. I need your help. I'm a mother. Please help me. I don't want to wait for police. I want to do this now. I want to do it now. He says, I have always wondered if something happened in the garage since the light was on that night. Did she lock him in there? I don't believe so. I have a theory because I do feel there's something with this in spirit because spirit talks about this and spirit was talking about this with me before I got on as well. Yeah. Now, Rita, taking the posters down, where did that come from? And talking about taking posters, his missing posters down. Is this something that they were doing as a couple or he was doing or what? Tell me more about that. Because this is the time for it. This is the time where we get on here and talk about this. Yeah, he definitely makes me sick. He repulses me. I haven't been repulsed by a human being in a long time, and he repulses me. You think he was attacked in his sleep in his bedroom while he was in a rage, hit him in the head. Okay, how could she? See, I will put a theory with mine with something that I heard in spirit, but I will give you a theory. Now, like I said, part of this is theory, but part of this is spirit. How can you, right, exactly. How can you not protect your child, your baby? So they were caught ripping down stuff. Okay. I do think something happened in the house. But that's my point. Why are they not putting forensics in that house? Look for blood spatter, luminol, you name it. Get it in that house. What are you hiding? What are you waiting for? That's my question. What are you waiting for? My thought process is, okay, maybe there is camera footage of him. This is speculation. This is only speculation. Maybe they have camera footage of him leaving the house. But this is why I want to talk to Spirit tonight, and this is why I want you guys to come up with questions for me to ask, because I'm going to ask the basic questions. Sebastian, who hurt you? Where are you? How did you get to where you are? Who was involved? Just anything and anything we need to ask Sebastian tonight. If he can come to me, I'm hoping he comes to me because, you know, I think he sees the upside to coming to me because I'm a peaceful, loving person, and I have that child. As to me, Sebastian reminds me of my son. That's so heartbreaking about it. He is just like my son. Smiling Sleuth wants to know where Sebastian is. We are going to ask those questions very shortly. I just wanted to get to some of the strange questions about how this is going on and how is this being partaken in and what is actually what's going on is here. I do believe he is buried, but I'm going to say I believe that. We're going to get to that all this in just a few minutes. You know, I was writing down questions that for you guys to look into because, like supposedly Chris Proudfoot's sister works as a secretary for the sheriff's office. Makes sense why he called the sheriff's office and not 911. Why did they do forensics? We went over a lot of this already, so I'm going to get into this shortly. Why didn't they call 911? Proudfoot's involvement. He is violent. He's something. Rearrested. Those are the visions I spoke about with you. Going on the YouTube channels, looking at interviews. Again, I'd like to know if he passed that poly. And I'm going to say this because Chris Proudfoot was in the military. He was dishonorably discharged. So in the military, they train you how to pass a polygraph. It is a well-known thing. My nephew was trained how to pass a polygraph in case he got taken over to enemy lines and interviewed, interrogated. They do that for a reason. Who else was present when he was hurt? Some of these questions I would like you to re-ask, guys, when they pop up, because I will say these messages are going up fast. Someone says, Teresa says that someone's in a tarot read that Sebastian was recording the abuse, which if he did they get rid of it? Probably. The dad's polygraph. Oh, I do know about the dads, honey. I would like to know about Chris Proudfoot. Oh, medicines can definitely be used to pass a poly. Was it premeditated? What? That's another thing. That's a good question. The clothes. I find it very strange that the night he goes missing, he's wearing all black. You know what I mean? All black. Rarely do kids wear all black to bed. Was there an actual thud? Good question. Was stepfather's parents involved or sister? You don't think it's been confirmed that Chris Proudfoot has done a poly? Why did the dogs get a scent by the pond? I don't feel he left on his... Oh, I don't feel he left on his own. I think he was carried out. That's why there was no scent where he was outside of the house. Think about that. Please tell Sebastian the world loves him. I definitely will, Becky. How convenient, Susie. Q73. I've never seen a picture of Sebastian wearing all black. Any pictures that I've seen of Sebastian wearing clothes, I've seen him wearing colorful stuff. So I haven't seen him wearing black either. Chit chat, please repeat your question for me, honey. It's going up too fast. He was taken from the garbage. Pick of the restaurant was not from the night, so I believe okay, I'm gonna get to I know I told you guys I want to get to my theory of what happened. My part theory and part spirit. I'm gonna get to that right now because I know you guys are waiting. So in the beginning when I started this, it's on the one live that I just did like last week. I kept getting pill. I kept getting blue pill. And that is still coming to me. It hasn't stopped yet. It's been coming to me like every other day. Before I got on, I did Roy what came through just this evening randomly before I hopped on. I'm going to give you the things that did come through tonight before I hopped on. These are just random things. Chris, mom, number 7. Anybody know what number 7 means? Please do let me know on here. Did he actually make it home? I'm going to ask that question, honey. Any questions you guys have, please ask them. Don't be afraid. Just understand I won't ask questions about a cult because, Proudfoot again. Hello. You see, every time you guys are watching me on here, I do want you to know I'm being told you're watching me. So just so you know, I know you're on here. Got home at 7 p.m. Okay, Tammy, thank you. Maybe that's what it references. Risperdal comes in blue pills. That's what he was recently put on for sleep. Okay, makes sense. Perfect sense. So I'm going to keep reading to this, and then I'm going to give you a theory. Give, beat, clean, mom, pain, blame. I want to skip this one word till the end, and I'm going to explain why to you. Maine. Now, Maine can be the state of Maine, but I don't think, that has anything to do. I think Maine, it could be the main reason. Grim, blame. And I spoke to you guys about the visions of the belt, the handcuffs, her coming out, the insane look in his eyes, hitting somebody in the head with a rock. And then, yet again, here comes pill into the mix again. Whole, buried, green, heart. Now, I know what green and heart means. I think that was just being referenced because that's his favorite color from what I've been told, which is funny because what am I wearing tonight? I wore green to support Sebastian, and that is my favorite color. Seth and harm as well. Now, when that came up, I knew that didn't mean that Seth harmed him. I think that Seth blames himself for the harm that came to his son. It's a very awful feeling to have, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas that someone feels inside their heart when things like this happen. And unfortunately, thank you, Rita, a parent's always going to have that regret when this happens to a child. It doesn't go away. It doesn't get healed. it eats you up inside. It makes you sick. So Seth is always going to feel some sort of guilt and blame. His birthday. Oh, his birthday is December 7th. Okay. Oh, Seth is also having heart issues. Oh, okay. That's why heart came up. Okay. I was going to say, I don't know what that has to do with this. I thought maybe Sebastian might have had a heart issue. But that I understand that now. Yeah, you can definitely look at the father and tell that he blames himself completely. RoboCop says hi. Okay, so we're going to start getting into some of the hard things now. I'm going to start asking Spirit some questions. For those who are new to the lives, I talk to Spirit just like I would talk to a person. They are still living energy. Energy never dies, only the body crosses over. There is no pain after death. We feel nothing. There is only that feeling of warmth and love and part of whatever light source you're a part of. I'm a very light sleeper. Yep, Shrimp, that's me. I know when my son is getting up because I can hear him, and that automatically drives me to, okay, my son needs help. I need to get up. I mean, if I hear my son walking down the steps, so if she heard a thud, why didn't you check on your son? Could have been a creeper getting in your house, taking your son out the window, because that would be my first thought. That, oh my God, what is that noise? But you didn't think about that because it didn't really happen, and you know it didn't. First question, Sebastian, I'm going to be writing down right now. Did you hear about the guy who came on Seth's Facebook or something and said he had Sebastian and he needs money for Sebastian's meds? You know, I call those rabbit holes. People will fear the outcome, so they'll lead you down the rabbit holes to keep you away. From what I was told, the Cajun army was being threatened physically and verbally. Why? If you're just looking for a child on the spectrum who needs to be found. Because they don't want him found. Because they know they will find evidence and they will go to prison. Ask if there was a fight with parents. Okay. That's going to be my first question. A rabbit hole meaning is a suspect will, like, okay, perfect example, Chris Proudfoot. He's trying to navigate the investigation. He's trying to have power still. He's like a little lost boy who never got the attention he needed. So he's constantly trying to find power where he can. I'm going to take advantage of this person because I feel some sort of power. And now he's doing it with the police because they're listening to him. They're giving him a sense of power. Now, mind you, that could be a setup also. So the police the police giving him a sense of power could also be as the FBI does. You have to relate to their situation. You have to make them feel comfortable. You have to let them speak. You have to let them trip up. And if you're watching this, Chris Proudfoot, you're pretty smart on that part, so I'm sure. But at the end of the day, I know what kind of a person you are. I see people like you all the time. You're a dime a dozen. He's very demanding. He's like a little boy who doesn't get his baseball glove from the store. That's it. He has a tantrum at everything. He sees it as, I'm the one that supports the household. You're going to shut your mouth and you're going to listen to me. Because if you don't, you're not going to get fed. You're not going to get this. You're not going to get that. Grow up. Try being a man. And I'm being very sarcastic tonight because I have to. I'm going to do this because Sebastian deserves someone to step up for him. Like I said, you're never going to bully me. And I'd be the wrong one to cross. And no, I don't mean that as a threat to harm you. I mean, I will never allow anybody, and I mean anybody, to put me in a bullied situation. People are coming out of the woodwork and anyone who goes near Chris is at home. He watches through his phone and watches YouTube. And oh, I know. He's on here tonight. He's on here tonight. Well, I'm going to be asking that, seeking serenity. I'm going to be asking about an address, places like that. There's also a word I left out for a reason. And I do believe that was maybe a place, because it's in a triangle formation from Hendersonville to Memphis, and there's a spot right over here. To me, that's the perimeter. I always get perimeter in cases. So either he's smack dab in that perimeter, or he's in the place that was mentioned to me in a nonchalant way. Colette, I really am disgusted by this case and everything about it. We're 53 days in now, and this should have not taken 48 hours. The parents should have been hauled their asses in. They should have did everything and anything to that house. And you tell me why. They either have footage of him leaving the house, or they're just really, really equipped with the Proudfoots, and someone knows somebody. I just now seen her hitting them on the head with a shoe, with one of her shoes. Wouldn't surprise me. Okay, so I do want to get back to that one theory I promised I'd get to you. So I'm just trying to read all your messages because you guys are on here. You're working great. You're asking the right questions. You're involved. Thank you for being here for Sebastian. So part speculation's me. The night he went missing, I'm going to say the night he went missing, and as I mean the day prior to. I'm not going to say overnight he must have took off. No, I don't believe so. Pills keep coming up. Pills keep coming up. Pills keep coming up. Now, the night she went out, I would like to know, was she drinking? Did she have too much to drink? Did she give Sebastian too much medication? And in that, she assumed Sebastian had died from the medication. So she called Chris Proudfoot. He comes back in the middle of the night. Now, my first thought is they think he's dead. Sebastian wakes up. Chris hits him in the head with a rock in surprise, like, oh my God, he's awake. He's not gone. And he hits him in the head. That's my speculation added with the pill, because I keep hearing pill, pill, pill over and over and over again. So that's just one of my theories until we hear fully from Spirit, okay? Now, I want to get into some questions now because I feel like we've waited long, and I want to get this going so we can try to get some answers tonight. I would like to make this a two-parter so we can get more people to ask more questions, because I think it's important. The child lived in the house of horrors. I do have an email. Maybe 7 pills. That could be Emily, that could be a suggestion. I'm not sure. Let's get into our questions with Spirit. I do want to start getting some questions asked and answered. I feel like you guys have waited quite a while now. Any and all energies that are not of the light, you cannot speak with me, you cannot interact with me. I would like to speak with Sebastian Rogers or his guardian if he cannot do so. Please, all and any spirits of the light that can help Sebastian Roberts communicate with me, please do so. Okay, I'm already getting a heart palpitation. I'm seeing Sebastian smile. Okay. I have burning in my chest, like my skin. And I'm hearing the word moan. I'm getting super, super hot here. I feel really, really hot out of nowhere. I'm just gonna take a really quick sip of something, guys. You guys probably can see me sweating right now. That's very strange to me. That's odd for me. I really hope that they didn't do anything to rid his body in that way. I'm gonna turn some AC on. I'm sorry. I hope it doesn't sound so loud to you guys, but I have to because I'm super hot out of nowhere. Okay. Sebastian, if you can answer me, sweetheart, I am here to help you. And I would like to help you give answers to your daddy or to your dad. I know you're not a baby. I know you're 15 years old. I know your favorite color is green. And your dad's name is Seth. And he is looking everywhere for you. Can you communicate back with me and tell me that you are present and that you are able to give me answers anyway? Can I have someone from Sebastian's family that loves him step forward and help him answer questions? So automatically I saw Sebastian's beautiful smile. And I'm not sure, but I am completely, my skin burns right in this area, and it still does. It's tingling right now. I feel like I got a light sunburn. I started completely sweating, boiling hot, like sweating. Like I need to take, I could take my jacket off, and he just, and I'm getting a vision of Sebastian clapping his hands like this, like he's happy, like when I mentioned Seth's name. Dad. Okay. Mom. No. I have dad, mom, no. Like a no. Exclamation point. Sebastian, can you understand a question? Can I ask you a question? Now you can show me through colors. You can show me through pictures. You can show me through letters and numbers. I'm a mom, and I know how tough it's been for you. And if there's anything I can do to help you communicate, you just tell me or show me, and I will do my best to help you, okay? He's showing me a picture with shorts and a shirt. Now, was that your, do you like to wear shorts? Do you get hot easy? Do you... Sebastian, good question. I have something to ask you. Can you show me your feet? Do you have shoes on, or are you barefoot? Are your feet, do you have socks on? Do you have shoes on? Or do you just like to be barefoot? I know I like to be barefoot. It's fun. I like the sand in my toes. I'm seeing something about his bare feet. It's unique. It's the way his shape of his feet are. To me, he would have very skinny ankles. His ankle bone is more on the right side, so to speak, almost like sticks out just a little bit more on the right side. And his toes are his big toe and then his smaller toes, and there's just a little space in between those two. Most people's toes are together really well. His seem to be out just a little bit. Oh, I don't mind. Let the smart remarks come on. Please do so. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to stop our work. My light's dimming. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Okay, Sebastian. Can you tell me, I don't know if he, I don't want to bring up complete, like, that question, if he was afraid of him. Sebastian, can you tell me about Mom? First word was mean. Okay. What about, when you say mean, how do you mean mean? Chris. Can you tell me about your mom or Chris? Mean. Okay. What about, did Mom and Chris have a fight that day? No? Would you like to tell me anything, Sebastian, that makes you happy? Talk about his keen game. You kind of sound like my Caleb. My Caleb, and you are a lot alike. How did you like your food at Texas Roadhouse? What did you have to eat? He's talking about stinky fish. Stinky fish. Stinky fish. Oh, don't argue with people in the live, honey, because I've dealt with people like her all my life. I used to go to Catholic schools. Sebastian, can you tell me what you did with your mom that day? Can you remember what you did with Mom that day? Something about, we drank. What did you drink? I'm thinking he's talking about soda because I'm seeing something like almost like it looks like orange soda to me. I could be wrong on what's in the cup, but to me, I assume it's soda. Oh, just ignore her. Let her have her little, you know, spiel about how evil and demonic and blah blah blah. Because I don't give my energy to people like her. Okay, Sebastian, can you tell me what you ate the last how can I ask this? What's the last thing that you remember? What's the last thing that you remember, Sebastian? Whole Maine. Do you remember what you ate? Do you remember what you drank that day? Sebastian, what were you wearing? What was the last thing that you wore? Do you remember what you wore on your body? Like your clothes, your shirt? What were you wearing? My face burns here. It's almost like he's showing me, I guess you would call it a t-shirt? A boy's t-shirt? I don't mean like the white ones. I mean like it would be like a graphic design t-shirt. And he talks about stinky fish. Let me see. Let's see. We are going to, there we go. I removed her. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being kind enough to let her understand that what we do is not bad in any way. So I extra out of my life. I don't play with people, like I said. Okay. Sebastian, can you tell me, did you get sick at nighttime? Did you feel sick to your tummy or your belly, or eat? You were eating something that night? He's talking about, see, I don't know, because he doesn't understand sense of time, we have to understand sense of time for him. So we have to ask him very specific detail. He's talking about eat. Chris got mad. Why did he get mad at you for eating? He told me it was, I guess he's telling, more or less saying, he's had enough. You shouldn't be eating again. Like, making it sound like when Caleb eats dinner and he has a snack and then he'll go back. And what I work on Caleb with, we have a food chart and we'll put all the bad stuff on the food chart. And then we'll talk about the good foods. And we call the bad foods the woe foods and how it can hurt your body and make you sick. And I'll say, hey, Caleb, what do you think that is? That's a woe food. A woe food is going to make your tummy hurt in the middle of the night. It's going to make you sick. You're not going to feel good. If you still want something, why don't you go for one of the good foods that will help you and be healthy, so to speak. Oh, let me go back down. Sorry, guys. I took her out of my chat, so she's good. Chris said, oh, I'm not going to read that out loud just because of presence here. Molly, thank you for joining. Yeah, most regular kids love snacks. Everybody loves snacks. Adults love snacks. Sebastian, when you went to dinner with Mom, did you have, can you tell me what you ate that day? He's talking about stinky fish. But did you like it? If you ordered it, you must have liked the food. Did you like fish? It's almost he's saying the smell of it bothered him. This is a very specific fish, so I'm not too sure if you guys can look into that. He's talking about salmon. Great question. Emily, next one. Sebastian, when you went to Texas Roadhouse and you were all done eating and full stomach, where did you go after you ate at Texas Roadhouse? He's talking about fun. Did you go someplace fun after Texas Roadhouse? He's talking about round ball. Can you tell me what round ball means? Do you know where that round ball was? Did you go to a fun place with a round ball? Did you go to, say that again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you that well. Can you repeat that for me? If you can show me, Sebastian, you can show me, that would be really easy for you too. I bet you like to draw too. My son loves to draw. Do you like to draw? Yes. How about, can you tell me, now talk about the ball. Can you describe the place with the ball? What did it look like inside, where the balls were that you had fun with? I'm assuming bowl means bowling. I'm not sure if you guys can, did you go bowling? Did you, like with the place with the pins and you get to roll the ball and hit the pins? He's mentioning, I'm assuming, if I think I've heard the name before in the interview. Faith. Who is Faith again? Oh, Karma Crime says yes, it was bowling. Okay. He speaks of a person named Faith, but I'm pretty sure I heard it. Okay, Proudfoot. I've heard it in the interview when I listened to Chris's daughter. Okay. What about Faith? Do you like Faith? Is she nice to you? He says friend. I'm getting the he wanted to be friends with her, but I guess he wasn't. He's giving me a sad feeling. Implying that could you play with Faith, or no, they wouldn't let me. Why? You wanted to be her friend. I'm not sure who Paul is. I've heard this again. Here's Paul again, people. This is what we talked about the last time. Paul. You know, I'm wondering something. The boy that hurt Sebastian, was Paul the person that hurt you before, honey? I don't even know if he remembers this. I don't know if I should even ask this question to him. Or Paul or Fall. But I think it's Paul because I keep hearing Paul. Sebastian, Faith and you were friends, or they didn't want you to be friends? Mom. What about Mom? Mom says I can't. Was Paul your friend from California? Again, to that question, remember, autism and time are two different spectrums. Caleb doesn't understand time either. So do you know who Paul is? Can you tell me who Paul is? Friend. Okay. Okay. Can you, Sebastian, can I ask you some questions? And if they're hard, it's okay. I don't want to make you uncomfortable, and I want you to be happy as possibly here, okay? Can you tell me what happened to you? Can you show me if it's too hard for you to tell me? Because we are all here listening to you, and Dad is looking for you. I'm sure Daddy's gonna see this. Talking about pull-up. Chris. Okay. Sebastian, what I will do, honey, is when I say, I think he was forced to call Chris Dad. When I say Dad, I mean your real dad, your dad named Seth. When I say, when you want to call your stepdad, you call him Chris, if that is easier for you, okay? There's no pressure here. You take your time with us. I'm listening. I'm here to understand. You can sit with me as long as you want. That's my husband leaving. So don't get worried, okay? What about Chris and what about the pull-ups? Mean. Okay. Okay. Did Chris hurt you in any way that night? Okay. Mom. Sebastian, did you take pills that made you sick? Okay. I'm going to ask another question here. Sorry. If I'm asking slow questions, it's because you have to do this in this process with a person of Sebastian's statute, okay? You have to get him to understand on his level. I hope I don't sound too childish, but I have to do this with him in a certain way. Sebastian, did you take any medicines? Did you take any blue medicines? Just one, just one. He's talking about just one. So the blue pill is a thing. Okay. Did you get sick when you took that pill? Did it make you feel sick? He's talking about sleepy. Sleepy. Okay. Sebastian, did you go to sleep? And did you wake up in the middle of the night? Oh, they don't know time. Okay. Okay, here's a good question, Sebastian. Did you take the garbage out for Mom that night? Okay. Time again. This is going to be a tough one to answer, guys. Okay, Sebastian, when you take the garbage out for Mom, do you remember? It's kind of hard. I'm trying to think of a way to ask him that he understands time, because they don't understand time. So I could say last night. I could say the night he went missing at 3 a.m. Are you kidding me? I'm going to ask this. Angela is asking, okay, was it dark when you took the garbage out? Okay. Did you take the trash out for Mom that night? I don't know what kind of answer I'm going to get from this, honestly, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Did you take the garbage out for Mom that night? Was it dark outside? He's talking about no, and then he's talking about foot. Yeah, I'm trying so hard to establish a time frame, but he talked about bowling, so we know he was bowling. That's a timeline there. We have to establish a timeline afterwards. Okay, Sebastian. So Caleb has chores around the house, and we try to keep him, so he could keep him an understanding that helping out is an everyday part of life, right? Now, he vacuums the rug. Sometimes he helps his dad mow the lawn with supervision. What do you do? Do you take the garbage out every week? He's saying no. And Mom mad. He says no, Mom mad. He doesn't do that, and so the speech is different, I noticed. Police said there was no garbage trucks. So did you take the garbage out after you went to the place with the balls, when you went bowling, did you take the garbage out after that? When you got home from bowling, did you take the garbage out? No. That's his third no. I'm trying to ask the same question in 3 different ways. And each time I have no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay, mom mad. Mom mad. Okay. He keeps talking about mom mad. Mom mad. Okay. I'm not worried about that troll in the chat. That's okay. Because you know who that is, don't you? I'll just wait for their little question to pop up and then I'll blush. And where did you go after bowling? Did you go bowling? Did you have dinner and then go bowling? Or did you have bowling and then dinner? Okay. It's okay. Don't get confused. It's okay. Don't get upset. It's okay. I'm not going to rush you. It's okay. You just relax and take a couple deep breaths. I don't think he understands that he's over. I'm being told Katie Proudfoot's on here. Katie Proudfoot. Okay, Sebastian. Did you come home after bowling and dinner? I'm being told no. When I asked about the question of deciphering, did you go to dinner, bowling, or bowling and dinner? He became to hold his ears shut to try to like and do this. So he says no, he didn't go home. Good. Time for her to talk. Take a plea, Kate. Well, she better. Because I tell you what, do you think Katie Proudfoot is going to turn on him or him turn on her? We taking bets here, I hope. Because it's whoever's going to get the plea deal. Yeah, it's been flickering. They use energy around me, or if they're using my energy, it's kind of like the lights here, so you'll see my energy in almost from them using my energy because the light's so close. They use the energy from the light. I hope she talks if she's smart, because if she doesn't, she's gonna get quite a while. Okay, Sebastian. Can you tell me about your dad, Seth? He's it's almost like he's showing me a picture of him hugging his dad. Can you tell me anything about your dad that you love about your dad? He loves me. Hey, Sebastian, do you know where you are right now? Okay. Do you see anything around you? Do you see any places like a house, or can you see Mom's house from where you are? He's talking about pill again. Sebastian, can you tell me, do you see anything around you that you notice? Do you see houses? Do you see a barn? Do you see an open space? Can you describe to me what you see? What's around you? What colors do you see? Do you see any numbers on a sign? I hear the word wall. Berry wall. Do you see, Sebastian, do you see any water around you? Tree. He keeps talking about the word hole. H-O-L-E. Now this can be something in the ground. This can be something that is in nature of, talking about pill again. Do you see any water around you? You don't have to go, Sebastian. Either he's referencing saying I don't want to go, or he's saying to me I don't want to go. It could be a number of things. Bridge, a drain. I was thinking drain hole, Grace. Oh, this message up for view. Keep them coming. I'll just keep on deleting you. Hole, wall, tree, pill, notes. Okay, good. You can. I feel out of breath. I'm not sure why I'm having this feeling right now. Talking about angry. Talking about Chris being really angry. Said something about I didn't want. But that's how he's saying it. I didn't want. That's okay. Who was angry, Sebastian? Mom was angry or Chris was angry? Can you just one more time for me, Sebastian? Chris. Did Sebastian, I'm going to ask a question to you, honey. It might sound scary. I'm trying to talk about what happened to you. Can you tell me what happened to you, Sebastian? He's showing me like a picture of, he's on the floor and he's being like drug from underneath his arms, like across the floor, but he's awake. He's not passed out or anything. Sebastian, I'm going to ask you something really hard, okay? Just do your best for me. No rush, okay? Who hurt you, Sebastian? Can you say that one more time? What did Mom do? Can you tell me what Mom did? It's okay, you can tell me. Because now I can tell Dad. I can tell your daddy. I can tell Seth. Was Chris there when Mommy hurt you? He's showing me something like, we go back to the rock thing, right? And it's like he's he looked back, but he's like crawling on his belly to get away. But to me, he's outside. Okay. Can you tell me, Sebastian, did somebody hit you? Did Mom? Did Chris? Did they hit you with something? Yep, I know a belt. I know, I heard about that. That wasn't nice. That wasn't very nice. Did Mommy or Mom hurt you in a way that made you go to sleep? What do you mean, sweetie? Can you tell me what that means? He's talking about the word tight. Tight. Why did Mom hurt you? He's saying the word sad. Tight. Something's weird there. Held him tight. Possibly. When you say tight, did somebody squeeze you really hard? Or can you tell me what that means? Choke, 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 choke. Okay. That's what I'm hearing, choke. Did, when you say choke, can you tell me how you choked? Did someone choke you? So why? Why? I don't know why, sweetie. That's why I'm asking you. Can you tell me how you choked? He's talking about that pill again. When you're talking about the pill, what color was the pill, Sebastian? Blue. Okay. How many did you take again? I want to ask you that again because you told me earlier how many you took. Okay. Same answer, just the one. Sebastian, did you want to take your medicine? Oh, okay. He says no. They made me. Okay, so when you said you didn't want to take your medicine, who is they? You said they. Was it mom and someone else? So when he says dad, he has this, the way he says it, it's almost like he's saying dad, dad, like it could be an accent. It could be the way he's pronouncing. People with autism most of the time have a speech impediment. Caleb adds an A at the end of every word. So look, when he reads, I look at so you understand what I'm saying? Um, I'll just keep letting y'all loose, keep taking you off. Okay, Sebastian, when you said they, who do you mean they? Who's they? When was the time question? Okay. Did you tell your mommy good night? No, I wasn't home. That's the kind of timeline I need to know, because he would remember saying that to her. But what about Chris, honey? He's talking about Chris, but I'm seeing, I don't see a car. I see like a it would be maybe a truck. He was not home. I don't believe he was home. He's been giving me the same consistency in that home answer. And that also, he didn't want to take his medication. It could be an SUV, I don't know. But it does not look like the inside does not look like a car to me, because a car has a lower sense. The steering wheel is up higher, like mine. My steering wheel is actually right about here because I'm on the shorter end. So he has a truck. Okay. Can you tell me, um, did did mommy make you leave with Chris because you didn't take your medicine? Okay. Usually when I don't get an answer like that, that's a no. Katie is a work fan. Sebastian, where did you go after you ate dinner with mom and you went bowling? Where did you go after that? He says work. Whose work did you go to? Whose job did you go to? Van. Proud. I'm assuming that's what he's referencing. Katie. Katie. I'm getting the name John. Katie, John, Katie, John. Sarah, the Foreman brothers are wanting to come here. Is there any way you can talk to them together? I don't know who that is, dear, but I'd be proud to help anybody. Did Mr. Chris hurt you at his work? Mom has a work van. Sebastian, you said you went to work and you spoke about a van. Now, he's going on about mom again. It's something about a friend. Did mommy send you with a friend? Did you go somewhere with mommy's friend? Chris. So, mommy took you to Chris? He's talking about Chris work. I'm wondering if she took him to, if they went, I'm not sure, Grace. Maybe mommy's friend brought him to Chris. Very good, Molly. That could be it. Did mommy send you with a friend? And did the friend take you to see Chris? I don't know if he understands that type of understanding. You know what I mean? From mom to friend to this to this. Um, A name, the word joy is being said. I don't know if that's a person on here or if it's a person's name. Sebastian, did mommy go home without you? Made me go. Mommy made you go where? I need to know who John is. I don't know how many of you are on here or... Are we back on? He speaks about John, mommy's friend John, and talks about Chris. I'm wondering if he's trying to say, mommy's friend John took me to Chris. But I mean, that wouldn't fit for the situation because she wouldn't have her boyfriend take her child to her husband. That doesn't fit. Do we know who a Joy is on here? Or is there somebody by the name Joy on here? Or is this could possibly be for Sebastian? They were swingers. Okay, Susie. Sorry. that was a shocker for me. Is Sebastian, does John live by you? Is John a neighbor? I think we have it wrong here. I think it's Chris's friend, John. Work, because he's going back to work now. Back to work. Now, this could be somebody from her job or his job, but to me, this is more of, he's talking about hand. Something about the hand. Hand. What do you mean by hand, Sebastian? Did you get hurt with your hand, or... I'm being shown, he's talking about hand, but he's also showing me a male. I would assume this is a male's wedding ring. Most women wear an engagement ring and a wedding ring. To me, this is just a regular wedding band on the hand. And to me, this is somebody with a right hand. That doesn't mean that they're married. To me, this could be just a gold ring on the finger here. Sebastian, good question. Pink butterfly. Sebastian, did you bite Chris on the arm? He's saying one time. Go one. It's like he's saying it in a way, he doesn't speak full sentences. He's talking about it in a way that is very, just like one. Okay, what arm did you bite him on? It's okay. I'm not mad that you bit him. It's all right, because he must have been really mean to you, wasn't he? He was angry. Mean. Belt. This is the third time he said this to me. Show. Sebastian, do you know what arm that you bit Chris on before? Can you show me what arm you bit before? You're not in trouble. I just want to know what arm you bit So I can say what arm you bit. It doesn't mean anything bad towards you. You're not in trouble. I'm not angry with you. I understand Chris was a bad man, and it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong, honey. What arm did you bite? Did you bite Chris on the arm? It's almost as like if I'm looking at Chris's arm. To me, this would be the left arm. The left arm. This is a very big challenge for me. Sebastian is amazing, everyone. The timeline is really hard to get. But I mean, we did get some sort of timeline. Why did you bite Chris? What did he do to upset you, to make you so mad or so scared? What did Chris do to you? Did he hurt you? Yelling at mama. Kind of like autistic children are very, very, very protective over the mother. My son is very overprotective of me. I don't know if I can get an answer for that, Lisa. They don't understand time. So why was he yelling at your mommy? What happened that night or that day that you bit him? Was it daytime when you bit him, or was it nighttime that you bit him? Nighttime. Talk about hit. Did he hit you or did he hit your mom? Mom. I think he defended his mother and he bit him. Did Chris bite you or hit you back? So when you bit Chris on the arm, did he hit you back? Belt. Okay. Did he hit you with the belt on your bottom, your butt, or did he hit you somewhere else? He's talking about his shoulder blade. I think Chris hit him with like the belt here in this general area here. Did Chris hit you a lot, Sebastian? Okay. He said no, only when he was angry. Okay. Did he get angry a lot? He's talking about being mad over snacks. He would be mad at him for like things like snacks or drinking too late at night or something about his mom. He's talking about his mom again. Sebastian, did mommy ever hit you? Did mom ever hit you at all? One time. But she was mean, he says. He goes, one time. Kind of reminds me of how Caleb is when he expresses himself. He expresses himself in numbers like, I did it this many times. He said, well, one time. Sebastian, when you went with John, did you have shoes on? He says no. Did you go in a car? Or did you go in a van? Do you know what vehicle you drove in? Did you drive in a truck? Did you drive in a van? Did you drive in a car? He's talking about the color red. So if you guys can figure out what that means. Sebastian, how come you didn't have any shoes on when you left? Rush. Let's see if we can get a different answer out of the same question. This is why I like to, so when you're in a rush, were you with other people when you were rushing to leave? Is that why you didn't have shoes on? He says something like, made me. Who made you? Who made you leave? Mom. Mom made you leave the house? Go. Where did you go, honey? Do you remember where you went? Do you remember seeing any street signs or important things? He's showing me again inside of the vehicle. Okay. It had, I don't know, you can't really say that because all vehicles make noise. Did you sit in the front seat of the vehicle? Did you sit in the front seat of the big car? Or did you sit in the back seat? He says trunk. Who, what color was the, what color was the vehicle? What color was the truck, the van, or the car? I'm hearing the word van again. Sebastian, can I ask you something important again, honey? It's okay if you can't answer this. I'm not rushing you. I don't want you to feel scared because nobody could hurt you ever again. Nobody could hurt you ever again. When you say choke, honey, how did you choke? When you said tight. You said choke, you said tight. What do you mean by that? Can you explain that to me so I can understand? Did you choke on your medication? Did you choke on your pills? He's talking about hold. Hold. H-O-L-D. Well, you're out of the chat already. And I'll explain that reason why after. Who am I talking to? I talk to spirit, just like humans. Chokehold. That makes perfect sense, Molly. Sebastian, when you choked and you say hold, did someone grab you around your neck and hold you really tight? Is that what they did to you, sweetie? Okay, honey, here's a question for you. Can you tell me by showing me how you choked? It's okay. You can show me if you'd like. There's that word drag again. Drag. D-R-A-Y. D-R-A-G. Drag. I think this is what happened. Someone put him in a chokehold and they could have broke his neck. They could have choked him completely out just to get him unconscious, to get him to point A to point B. And that could be the reason why I saw the rock coming down to hit him. Or does it mean it's a rock? No, it looked like there was an item, something hard in the hand, and it came down and hit him. Goodbye. It could very well be that, dear. Sebastian, when you were choked really tight, sweetie, do you remember what happened after that? Did you wake up afterwards? Did you wake up? He's saying no, but he's also saying the word drug. Drug. I don't know if they drugged him to keep him asleep until they got to point A to point B. Sebastian, were you hit with anything, honey, in the head, on the ground? Were you hit with a stick? Hard, hard, hard. Okay, so it was harder than a stick. Was it a rock? Round, round. Okay, what was round? What was it? Do you know if it was a stone or a rock? He's talking about mark. When you say mark, are you saying you're gonna have a mark on your head? Or, to be honest, at the time of him being discovered, that part won't show, but the skull will. Who hit you, Sebastian? Rock. Okay. All right. So who hit you with the rock? Sebastian, how many people were around you that night? Do you remember? Can you remember and count for me? 2. Okay. Was mom at home and you were with somebody else, as in Chris and somebody else? Chris and Rock. Okay. Who was Chris with? He's talking about the man that left me. So there was 2 males here involved in this. This wasn't just Chris and her. There's a whole nother person here, a third person, third party. So to me, this is premeditated murder. This wasn't something that, oh, it just happened and he flipped out and I choked him out. No, this was premeditated murder. There's a reason why they did this. Flip. He's saying the word flip. Oh, maybe they're going to flip on one another. Was John the one with Chris that night, Sebastian? He's also talking about Paul again. Paul. John, Chris, and Paul. What did Paul do? Does Paul know Chris? Are they friends? I don't know what this would mean, sweetheart. He's talking about batter. I don't know what that means. Batter. Referencing batter. Maybe they do the same thing he does to their wives, or I know this is a far-fetched, but I'm trying not to. Maybe they were on some. Maybe they were childhood friends. They grew up together. They were on a baseball team. The Batters, I don't know. I'm just putting that assumption in there. That's not spirit. I think there is more than Katie and more than Chris Proudfoot. I do believe this was premeditated murder, yes. I'm not sure, Indigo Moon. You think Chris has a brother named Paul? Okay. Okay, that's a question. Sebastian, are the people that were with Chris, is that Chris's family? He's saying mom again. Is it okay? Is it your mom you're talking? Are you talking about your mommy, or are you talking about Chris's mommy? I'm gonna say that in that way because it could be the way he just understands. I don't know the way he spoke to his, you know. Sebastian, do you know where you are, honey? There he goes again. Hole. Are you close to Chris's job? Do you know where you are, honey? Paul. He's mentioning Paul again. Are you close to mommy's house? Okay. He's talking about River. River came up in the first live. it was already on paper that for the cold read. I don't know if I mentioned it in the live itself, but he's talking about river. Are you near Paul's house? Let's talk about Dad. Dad, river, pond, creek. I think he's giving me like a scent of river, pond, and creek. Think about what that means to you. He could be saying around 3 bodies of different kind of water. Pond, creek, and river. When you talk about Dad, honey, are you talking about Chris or are you talking about your dad, Seth? Or let's just say, are you talking about Chris or are you talking about Dad? Chris. When you get told to call somebody Dad for so long, it's kind of like beat into your brain. Like me saying Sebastian Roberts. That came to me so freely. It just, I didn't even realize I did that until someone stated, that's not his name. And I'm like, yes, it is. It's Sebastian Rogers. And they're like, you said Roberts. And I was just floored by that because I know I would have remembered saying it, which told me Roberts could be the last name of someone, or it just means something different. What does Paul look like? Sebastian, do you remember? Okay, hold on, let me get another piece of paper. What's brown? What's brown, honey? We're going to write his name down, and then you can tell me all about Paul, okay? He has brown hair. Okay. What color are his eyes? What color is, do you remember what his eye color is? Okay, what about his nose? Is it pointy? Does it come like a point? Is it longer? What do you remember? Because that's the one thing about autistic children. They remember great detail about people's features. They pay attention to things because children with autism are natural born empaths. They will look at your hands. That's why a lot of autistic children are very, I don't want to be around you, because there's something that they notice about you that they don't feel comfortable with. And it could just be the way you look. It could be the way your energy is not matching your outside of your body. Anything stands out to them. What does his nose look like, Sebastian? Okay, I'll say that for you, okay? But if you can tell me more about his nose so we can get like a composite sketch, like a drawing of his face. Can you show me a drawing of his face? He said his nose is ugly. I don't know what that means for him. Can you tell me what his face looks like on a drawing? Maybe you can show me a drawing instead. Sketch. Okay, mouth. He's showing me this part. Like, Tim, you see how I have this line here? Where my chin? He's showing me this part. He's showing me the line here. Okay, the line above chin. That's great, Sebastian. Good job. What about his hair? Is it long? Is it short? Is it curly? Is it straight? Straight. Okay. How about short or long? Okay. He goes back to Chris. So if you pay attention to Chris's hair, it's short to his head. So he's telling me he has short, straight hair. So he's got short hair then, right? Yes. Okay. We're going back to his nose. That's fine. You can go back to his nose. I guess you could describe it as a stubby nose. If that makes sense. I'm sorry. I'm just giving you what he's telling me. Stubby. What about his teeth? Great. That's a great question. What about his teeth? Does he have holes in his teeth? Is he missing any teeth? Okay. Are his teeth crooked or are they straight? Like Sebastian, you have straight teeth. Are his teeth like yours, or are they missing, or are they crooked? It's almost like he said he called his teeth yellow. Can you tell me what about his ears? Does he have small ears or big ears? Big. Okay. What about a scar on his face, or did he have scars? No scars. Okay. What about a tattoo? Left. Left. What? Left arm, left leg. Oh, left shoulder. He says left shoulder, there's a tattoo. Good question. Did he smoke cigarettes? No. Okay. Did he wear a hat or no hat? Which one? Did he have a hat on? No. Did he have a t-shirt on, like your cool t-shirt with a picture on it? Or did he have like a white t-shirt on or something like that? Can you tell me exactly what he had on? What do you mean? He says shown. Did he have a picture on his shirt? Sounds like he's saying it's an old picture. Was it Chris's dad or grandpa? What did he wear on his feet? He's showing me boots. But the thing about the boots is they're not laced, like tied. You know, like when you tie your boots, the laces are hanging there to the sides. Very loose fitting. They look brown. They look like work boots or construction boots. Bye-bye. Another one I just deleted. Don't worry. Can you tell me his last name? Do you know his last name, Sebastian? Paul? What's Paul's last name? Okay. Now short would be what would be a name for Rick? Like you know how there's, if you have a Henry, there's a Hank, or a William would be a Bill. What would be something for Rick? Richard, right? I assume so. So it could be Paul, somebody by the name of Paul Richards. Don't quote me on that. This is just purely speculation. I'm not sure what Rick would mean. Richard or Ricky. Rich? Okay. So Richard is, so we're all agreeing Richard would be a name. Okay. We're back to Paul. Okay. Chris. Paul, Chris. Mom. Paul, Chris, Mom. What now? What about John? You mentioned a John. 4. There he goes with the numbers again. You see the pattern I'm trying to say here? When, oh, okay, let's see. How could I say this? When you felt tight and you choked, do you remember how many people that night, Sebastian, were around you? It's almost as like he's trying to show me each person played their own role, like one dug the hole. This person did this to me with my throat. This one, it's a very confusing thing what he's trying, but I understand what he's trying to say, if that makes sense. Do you know where Paul lived? Maybe, probably not, but I'll wait a second before I ask the next question. He's saying the word, I don't know if I heard brother fully, but it almost sounded like I heard the beginning of it. Sebastian, where is the hole, sweetheart? Can you tell me the place where the hole is? There's that word again, wall. I'm hearing a hole, wall. Let's see. Are you by a lot of trees? Are you in the woods? Do you see any houses around you? There he goes with the water again. I think he's by water, because he's talking about a lake now. Does Paul wear glasses? No. Good question on that, Grace. Is the hole that you're talking about, Sebastian, is it in the dirt, in the ground? Is it in the ground? It's like a shovel, so I assume somebody dug it with a shovel. Sidekick, welcome. Did you go on a plane, Sebastian? Oh, okay. That was a quick no. No. Sebastian, where's your glasses? Did you have them when you felt tight on your neck? Oh. Thank you, Brooke. I try. Sebastian, did you go in the RV with Chris? The big, it's like my son, Caleb, he calls it a house bus. That's the way he calls an RV. What do you use? What do you call it? He's talking about the word house. Okay. I'm going to try to get in depth about his room in a minute. Thank you. That's okay. Held for review. Held for review. That's okay. Okay. Just keep on popping on there, my friends. You got Chris Proudfoot's little minions on here. Okay, there was a question I did want to ask. Oh, are you by a bridge at all? Do you know what a bridge is? Oh, I know the Proudfoots around here. It's okay. See, I have to be bothered by them. And their problem is they can't intimidate me, like I said in the beginning. Because I'm hearing again, Proudfoot, Proudfoot. Cumberland River. Do you know the river you're by? Can you tell me a name of it? That's a good question. All right, I'll mention that, okay? He's talking about the word coal. Now, I'm assuming coal is coal. I don't know if I should ask that. Pink butterfly. Yep, Sebastian, everybody, I'm talking to people here on my phone. And they are on here and they're trying to find you so that you can see your dad again, okay? So I don't want you to feel scared here. You are safe here. You'll always be safe in my space, okay? Mom knows. It was cold that night in February. Sebastian, what did you wear that night when you went with Chris and Paul and... Because I remember you saying you went with John. So how many people did you go with that night? Showing me is like, you take this person here to drop them off here to drop them off there. Yes. Nevada. Coal. I'm not sure what that means in here. Do you see any animals by you, Sebastian? Like fish by the water, in the water? Do you see any birds? Do you see any trees? Phil, there's that. Didn't we hear Phil last time as well? Like, maybe he's talking about landfill. Maybe he's talking, I don't know if there's water by any landfills there, but maybe that should be checked. Yep. Sebastian, you have a lot of beautiful people on here, and they are definitely trying to find you to get you back to Dad. Okay? He's talking about his mom again. Chris. Back to Chris. Sebastian, I heard you can sing. That's a great question. Can you sing? Oh. He could be saying, Becky Lynn, he could be saying cold instead of coal, but I didn't hear the D at the end, so I can only ever say what I hear when the word is spoken. That's a good question. Sebastian, are you in Tennessee or are you in Kentucky? Which one are you in? Do you see any playground? Do you see any campers? Back to that water again. Okay. Mom lied. Mom lied. She said I was coming back. That's a rough question to ask. I'm going to ask it in a different way, just not to the degree you're asking. Sebastian, when you talk about the hole, sweetie, are you inside the hole itself? Or are you inside something like a box, a container? What are you sitting in? I don't know if this would reference to a hanger. 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 What would that reference to? What could that symbolize? Sebastian, can you tell me more about what that would mean? Tinkerbell, I heard hanger, yes. Sebastian, what were you wearing the night that you got tight and you choked? What clothes did you have on? Were you wearing, what color were you wearing? Do you remember? Do you remember? Maybe that's what he's saying, because he's telling me shorts. He's not saying pants. He also says the color red. Are you saying you wore red shorts to bed? Or he's referencing cliff and then hanger. Cliff and hanger. Maybe, and that very well could be boxer shorts. It could be, maybe he went to sleep in his underwear. Most boys do that nowadays. Good question, Rita. Right. That's the point. I don't think, because if you remember what he said, Mom lied. She said I was coming back. Cliffhanger, wouldn't that be, it's like a side of a mountaintop. It's, let's see. Ask if the cloth or paper around him. Who is John? No. That doesn't matter about pull-ups, Grace, because my granddaughter wears pull-ups to bed, and she still has the need to wear underwear over her pull-ups because my granddaughter has a bedwetting problem. She's been wetting the bed since she was off diapers. So it's just something that for her, it's just uncontrollable. So she still wears pull-ups to bed with her underwear. It's a comfort thing, I think. So we just let her do it. Is Cliffhanger off his favorite video game? Maybe he is. I'm not sure. I do feel quite a bit of, if you've noticed, I've slowed down a little bit with my voice. Good question, Tammy. Another great question. Let's see. Just another moron on here getting blocked. Bye-bye. Has Mom come to visit where you are? Okay. No. Cliff again. Maybe she can't go to visit him because where he is isn't, you're not able to visit him there. Think about what he's just said. When I asked the question, has Mom come to visit you where you are? No. Then he speaks about Cliff again. Kohl's department store. Cindy, great question. Great answer. Sebastian, where you are, honey, has anybody showed up to see the place where you are? Has anyone visited the space where you are? No, left. So that tells me no, they left him there. One of the grandparents own a private airport. That's nice. Boy, he's got quite the bit, huh? Michelle Scott says, these divers do not do land searches. So angry at the tibia, at this tibia. There's only so much that people are going to do. Diana, you just ignore him. That's why I don't give him any recognition. I'm just going to keep blocking. That's what you call trolls for the Proudfoots. Was he moved after he died? Sebastian, can you hear water where you are? No, lake. He's saying something about no and then lake. Sebastian, are you near a graveyard where people go after they've passed on? I'll have to look what that means. We'll just get rid of the moron. Bye-bye, shooter. Could there be a closed door? That could be Chit Chat 2023 a good question. Look, now that was said here, maybe look it up in maybe some sort of maps area. Shrimp. I do believe we asked that already, Shrimp. I mean, I'll ask it again in a different version and maybe we can get a different answer or the same answer. I'm not sure yet. Sebastian, when you felt choked and you felt tight, did someone carry you out of the house? What do you mean? He's saying something about something about to and walked. I don't know what he refers to this. What do you mean by that? Are you saying you walked out of the house with two people? Do you understand what I'm asking you, sweetheart? I don't think he understands what I'm saying to him, to be honest. Yeah, I definitely don't think this is just those two specifically. I think this was a premeditative, more or less, strike against Sebastian. Okay, here's a question for you, Sebastian. Sebastian, were you hurt at Mom's house? And what room? He's talking about again, I took my pills, but I didn't want to. So what kind of answer can we get back from this? Let me just read something here. Maybe I can get a good thing from here. Was it? Rita, okay. Do you hear any airplanes around you? Like the loud sounds of airplanes when they go over your house? What do you mean? Can you explain to me what you mean? He's saying no, but he says something after that. It's almost like Walsh or I was trying to get him to come back at me with okay, another good question. Do you hear any trains around you, Sebastian? I think that's a no. Okay, let me just even ask if he's even still with us. Sebastian, are you with us right now, honey, or did you leave? I think he's gone, guys. getting the name also Tim, T-I-M. I'm not sure if he was just tired or if he's going to step back in with us or he just needs a moment. I'm not sure yet. When I saw him, Chris Proudfoot, with something in his hand and his eyes were all big, you know, it was a very scary look. It didn't scare me, but whoever was underneath him, it must have been scary, because all I do is see the hand coming down and then darkness after that. Oh, I believe that too, Diana. I believed, I do as well, Meatball, because spirit contact can only last so long. It makes me wonder. What I'll do is I'll just ask another few more questions and see how it goes. Sebastian, if you're still with us, honey, can you tell me, you do know that there are people looking for you, right? That people love you and care about you and they want you to come home? I'm getting like a psychic overlay. No, I just want my dad. But also talking about a fight. But this didn't come from Sebastian's voice. This is something different. So for me, it's like I'm picking up a psychic overlay of something that would have occurred in time with them. His mother thought he was dead in the house after he refused to take his medicine. Sebastian, did you know everyone that you were around in the moment of being hit? There's that heat again. She pushed him, hit his head. I wish you guys could feel the sudden heat in my body right now. The whoosh of heat I'm getting right now. Sebastian, if you can answer this for me, honey. What do you see or hear around you? You can show me. You don't have to tell me if you're too tired. I hear the word wall. You can see the heat in my face. My skin is like on fire right now. I'm so hot. I feel like I just want to wipe the sweat from me. There's that heat again. Infirmary. I'm just hearing the word infirmary. I'm not sure what that would mean for here right now, but I just know I'm wicked hot. I am going to shut this live down right now because it's actually starting to make me feel woozy. I'm hearing the word blame. I feel bad if I shut this down. I'm going to try my best to stay on here if he's going to keep talking. Close. Right now, I just saw what looked to be her closing the trunk of that vehicle, looking down in. Didn't have an ounce of remorse. I don't know if I should still go. I'm just going to try my best to keep going, guys. I'm hearing the name Sam. Sam. This could just be random people stepping in now because I don't feel... Who's going to find you? Male or female name? What does the wall look like? Somebody Chris's family owns a funeral home too. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Crematory, or that makes a world of sense. Oh, God, this is so disgusting. That's a good question. Sebastian, if you're here, honey, still, what happened when you were taken out of the trunk? He definitely wasn't conscious. He had no shoes on. And I'm still noticing his one foot. There's something very unique about his one foot that is different from, if I'm not mistaken, his right foot is different from his left foot. It has a distinctive trait to it. I don't know how to explain it except for, I don't even know if I would call it flat feet. His feet were, I don't know if I'm just seeing his feet really pale looking or if that was the actual just color of his feet. But there's some redness around his big toe bone, right around here, this area. Most likely. Okay, so off we go because we don't use the words that you're using. Bye-bye. I'll just lock and bleed all day. I don't care. Like I said, you can't phase me. Home. Home and shoes, whatever that means. There are 3 brothers that work with people, police, and psychics to find missing people. They are paranormal investigators. Oh, okay. I think something was mentioned about this earlier. I don't know. It could be just a distinctive trait to his feet, April. It just could be, I don't want to say club foot or anything like that. It's just something unique about his right foot compared to his left foot. I feel like he was born that way. I don't think it was something it has to do with that. Good question. Sebastian, have you heard anybody calling your name? Okay. I'm with another person here. It is not Sebastian. If this does not pertain to Sebastian Rogers' case, please do not interfere with his reading right now. Okay, thank you for that. So there is a male here that has to do with Sebastian, that is a passed on relative, and he's telling me about the person that hurt Sebastian is in this chat right here. Have I already blocked him, or is he still on here? He's still on. Would there be anything that you would like me to tell this person? He's talking about the mother of Sebastian. Proof. There's proof. If there's proof, why aren't the police doing anything to help Sebastian in investigating the home? Forensics. What does that mean? This is something weird, but I'm going to do it because I was just shown. I'm being shown like a link. There's a link between police and the Proudfoots. Do you know what police said? What is the person's name in the police force? Can you give me a name? Okay, who is the friend in the police force? Is it sheriff or is it police? Oh, okay. Sheriff's office. Is it Chris's side that is friends with the police, or is it the mother's side that is friends with the police? Chris, can you tell me what the sheriff's name is? It's either somebody by the name of Don or somebody with a D. That's what I assume. Chris's Proudfoot has a sister in the sheriff's office. And that's funny because someone had stated that, and I mentioned that early on in the live. How do we find Sebastian? How do we find Sebastian? Do we talk to the FBI? Are we going to have FBI clearance to help? We're back at this D name. Okay, let's put it this way. Are we going to find Sebastian? Proudfoot, Proudfoot. Okay. How do we find him, though? Mom. Okay. Are they going to find evidence to make it a criminal investigation? I don't know how to tell that to the public. Maybe, or in between. Left. There, I'm being shown and being told at the same time something about the word left, but then they're showing me a vehicle and they're talking about the tire marks. I'm going to see if I can get in touch with the father. Okay, since we're not speaking with Sebastian right now, I'm going to ask you some major questions here. If you can help us out, that would be wonderful. I would deeply appreciate it. Who killed Sebastian? Mom and who? And father. Are we talking about, I have to ask this because I have to be biased here. Are we talking about the real father or are we talking about the stepfather? Stepfather. Okay, which we all figured here. How did they hurt Sebastian? How did they take his life? Okay, so we're talking about the hole again. But to that point, prior to the hole, choke. Okay, so this is a thing then. I'm just letting people still talk. Okay, so when you refer to choke, who choked him? How did he choke? What do you mean by that? Because Seth said the same, not Seth, oh my goodness. Sebastian said the same thing. So what are you referring to? Did someone choke him while swallowing a pill? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Oh, forced. I think by forcing him to take the pill, kind of like holding him down to force the pills down his throat. Don't worry about them. Yes, we're back. I think we're back to the chokehold. Who is John and who is Paul? Can you give me those answers for Sebastian? John, Paul. Who are those two men? We're back to Chris again. They're friends of Chris Proudfoot? I don't know if he's trying to show me, because I'm seeing the construction site. I don't know if he's showing me that these are men friends from his job. What is the name of the place that Sebastian is in? Is he near water? Is he in water? Should I mention this on here? Because, you know, you do have them watching us. I know. Okay. Oh, you see, me doing what I'm doing, they're laughable on here because I'm not even reading their comments. That they're wasting their own time. They look foolish. They look like morons on here. They hold no bearing in my space. None whatsoever. Do I look bothered, intimidated at all? None at all. When their little moronic comment comes up, I'll just hit what I need to hit. It's no biggie to me. I have no shame. I have no caring what they say. It's pretty pathetic. Proudfoots are on here instead of looking for the boy because, you know, they're so innocent. Oh, I do believe that they're, I think what was going to happen here was if he was going to go live with his father and they gave the ultimatum, it was kind of like, okay, well, we can't allow him to do that anyway, because then he's going to tell his father everything we've done to him, which would place them in jail. That I didn't have to trip them up at all. They've been tripping themselves up by looking like fools and making sure that that little boy was unsafe in their environment, while the father is out searching like a lost lone wolf in the woods looking for his pack. And what are you guys doing? Sitting here on people's lives and trying to make yourself like victims. You know who do that? You know who does that? Excuse me? Narcissists. And it's even more pathetic is you had that little boy growing inside you, kicking you, depending on your body for food and love. And what did you guys do? You went to a man that abused 4 other women besides you and hurt other children besides yours. And now look, 5 wives later, how many other children later? Then what? You have to face the outcome of this when it is your time. You do. You have to deal with what you did. And it will come out. Because I want you to remember what the old saying is. You're not looking, because a good friend of mine once said to me, you don't go looking for what is not lost. And what is in the dark comes to light. Am I still offending you? Because the messages are still popping up that say they're in review. Yep, trolls are trolling. It's pathetic that the public loves your child instead of you. I didn't come here for a peaceful chat. I came to speak for Sebastian, and so did these people on here. Most of them anyway. But you can't hurt my feelings because you have no bearing on my soul. But Chris Proudfoot, you will have to face your demons. You're going to face everyone on the other side that you have abused, you've took advantage of, and you know what I mean by that. Who you've seriously, you took it to a point of such violence. You took a life of someone else's child. But then again, the mother is holding your hand, comforting you. You both make me sick. And anybody on here is surely going to agree that you are sad individuals. Nobody has to follow Christ. And it has nothing to do with God when you have to facing your demons is a reference. You all have to face what you've done in life, no matter if it's a small thing, whether it's a big thing. When you go to the other side, everything you've done is like a flash of light. You see yourself being born. You see the first person you hurt, their feelings. You see everything, murder, death, anything and all you see. You just chose your next life. Good for you, April. I can't wait to see it come across the screen. Proudfoots go to prison. Alrighty, my darlings. I am going to go clear my energy, see what I can get out of this, see what you can get out of this, see what you can make of these answers. Remember, nothing is too small for an answer. Everything makes sense and everything is said for a reason. You have to put the symbolization like a puzzle, like we always speak about. Good for you, April. Blessed be, by the way. From one to another. Annette, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Keep Sebastian in your prayers. Keep looking. Keep posting. Keep doing whatever you can to help that boy. Help the father. Help in any way. Sign the petition. Get the petition signed. Get it shared. Share it anywhere and anywhere. Make sure if you can help where you can. Everyone, you are welcome. Tomorrow is a live again. I will see what I can make of this and see what else I can get from this. Oh, I know. my skin's starting to boil. Or am I feeling you, Chris Proudfoot, boiling at the skin because you have no self-control? Is that what it is? I can feel your skin boiling, you're hot, you're angry. Is that what that is? Light up the screen for Sebastian. All green hearts. All green hearts. Tammy, the usual time for us, honey. Everyone, thank you for being here on Sebastian's behalf. Thank you. Just thank you a million. Oh, goodbye, Chris. Goodbye. Goodbye to the wife. More. Look at all those messages getting redacted. Sad. Pretty sad. You see, I won't ever be intimidated by you. You can't hurt me. And let me tell you, I'm going to cold read your ass. And then I'm going to bring all your little demons out of the closet and I'm going to post them on here and let everybody know what you've done. Chris Proudfoot. So like I said, you've messed with the wrong person. You've messed with the wrong little child. Because I got Sebastian's back. And so do all these people on here. And so does his dad. And so does the Cajun Army. Try not to put any false threats out to them too next time. Because I know that was you. Just like you didn't rip down any missing posters, right? I'll be waiting for the redacted remarks again. Just so you can say that's not you on here. You're sickening. You're vile. You're pathetic. And I'm going to keep on saying how I feel on here because, like I said, I'm not one of your ex-wives. With love to Sebastian, everybody. Make sure you keep him all the way in your prayers. All the way in your prayers. Okay, everybody, I'm going to close this down. Thank you for being here for Sebastian. Donate where you can. Help with flyers. Share his picture. Make sure, if you can, sign the petition so the FBI can come in and do the job. Because as, you know, TBI goes, Summer Wells was never found either. And ironically, who do you think was in charge of that investigation? Not every police officer is bad. No. Not every sheriff is bad. No. Not at all. But to the ones that do mess up, screw up things for people, you all have a karma to face in the end. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye. Oh, look at the redacted messages from 2 different people. Convenient. I'll be waiting for your response somewhere on the internet, Chris Proudfoot, and to the mother. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great night. Stay safe and keep Sebastian out there. Do the job of the parents. Do the job of the mother and stepfather. Because the dad's doing everything he can to help his son. Goodbye, everyone. Stay safe.